Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Danny Falco on the line, and this episode is part of our National Social Media Awards series where we bring you the best of people that are doing great things in social media. Now, if you haven't been tuning into this series yet, nationalsocialmediaawards.com is where you can grab some tickets. Just so you know, the event will be Sunday, the 7th of June. I will be there in attendance. I'm looking forward to this. They do a real big show in London, and now they're bringing the brand to Los Angeles. And if you are a content creator, if you are in Hollywood or anywhere near there, you need to be there. So again, Sunday, the 7th of June, nationalsocialmediaawards.com. Go grab your tickets, and I will see you there. Now, Danny, welcome, number one, and I'm excited for today's episode. I've been looking forward to this one.
Thank you so much, Adam, for having me. It truly is an honor. Thank you.
So for everybody that's listening who don't know Danny Falco's work, he's an entertainer. He's got a number of things under his belt. He's a recording artist. He's a former reality TV star. He's a mental health and animal rights advocate. So a lot going on there. So Danny, just to get us started here, I'm curious on your end, how did you get into this world of whether it's content creation or making music or advocacy? Where did all that creativity start?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So as far as when it started, my parents actually had me in the entertainment industry pretty young, actually. I was 5 years old when I did my first play. Yeah. And
you were born into it, kind of. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I was doing plays in French and other languages. And I worked with all sorts of Broadway directors and different people as well. So that was kind of the foundation of entertainment for me. Mm-hmm. When I was 16 years old, I auditioned for American Idol. And that had really kind of opened my mind to the possibility that music could be a career for me. And so I had auditioned, I made it in front of the judges. I actually swallowed a metal grill brush bristle, believe it or not. It's so Whoa. Crazy, I know, 2 weeks before, and I had my tonsils removed. Yeah, so I had bad luck with that. When I was 18 years old, I was scouted by an independent record label called Smash Pop Records, and it was out of Boston, Massachusetts. And I actually was placed in a boy band named Kick It, and that was quite an experience. And when I was 19 years old, I just turned 19, the producers of the X Factor actually reached out, and they said that they found a video of me singing online and asked me if I would be interested in performing in front of Britney Spears, Demi Lovato, Simon Cowell, and L.A. Reid. Mm-hmm. And I would say that was really the rise of me, I would say, because I had amazing feedback from the judges, and they absolutely loved me. I ended up progressing in the competition to the top 32 and was cut at the top 24. I forgot my lyrics. I was only 20 years old, honestly, and it was probably the most life-changing experience I've ever been a part of. Yeah. And so I was eliminated after forgetting my lyrics.
How do you bounce back from that? How do you bounce back from that?
You know, Adam, honestly, I've had many ups and downs. I think that's what makes me so unique and so relatable at the same time, because I am a human being. I did receive a lot of media training from the boy band and from the label, but I would say that I have had more failures than successes. And that's a really important thing to know about me, because I've fallen many times and I always get right back up, dust myself off, and get right back on it stronger than ever. So with that, so I'll jump forward. So while I was in the boy band after X Factor, I actually struggled with an eating disorder. It was something that was genetic. My environmental, social factors all played a part in it. And so I struggled with anorexia and bulimia. And so it was something that I had to keep behind doors, closed doors. I couldn't let anyone know about it. But I actually struggled really bad. It got to the point where I actually left the band because I was in and out of the hospital. I kept going to do a performance, and then I would check myself back into the hospital, go do another performance. And it was really hard. And I really did struggle with it. And I went to treatment, actually, believe it or not, 8 times. So that just shows you how difficult it really was for me to identify the behaviors that I was participating in and really learning about myself. And so I ended up, recovery stuck for me, thank God.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting married, having a child. And then I auditioned for American Idol when I was 28. So this is 10 years later from the first time I auditioned, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
well, 12.
Yeah. A lot of learning in that decade, a lot of things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And so they actually reached out, the producers of American Idol, back during COVID times. We were the first TV show up and running during COVID. So it was pretty interesting how they kind of operated in this unprecedented time. But so they actually reached out to me and one of my bandmates. Now, when we auditioned, he received incredible feedback. He ended up being in the top 13, I believe, of the whole entire country. What ended up happening with me, and so what happened with me is this was the moment where I felt where everything I had ever worked so hard for was completely taken away from me. All the hard work that I had done, because I got such bad feedback from the judges that it actually sent me into a spiral with my eating disorder that I never thought I was going to get out of. And I think that's where my activism really came into play. I didn't want to be Danny Falco anymore. I felt ashamed. And so I started going by the name Wild Aura, and I got all these piercings and these tattoos, and I was finally able to kind of express myself in a way that I never had been able to before, because I was always in such a controlled atmosphere, and I was always in this box that they needed me to be, cookie cutter. And through that, I ended up seeking treatment one last time, and that is where it really stuck, treatment and recovery. And that would be the moment that changed my life, because I started guest speaking for the National Eating Disorder Association and performing at their event on the whole West Coast. And then they asked me to work for them as the state representative of California. And so pretty much what I do is I plan all the fundraising events, and that goes for like the walks, care fair events. I also go to schools and educate students, doctors in doctors' offices on eating disorders and prevention. So that's kind of where I got into that. Sorry, I know I probably totally hijacked this whole conversation.
It's important, and I let you go because it is important. Like, it's something that we don't always get to talk about. And what's interesting to me as well about your story is that you took something and then you made a positive of it, and now you're out there helping other people, right? Like,
absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I grow in the dark. That's what I say to people all the time. In my darkest moments.
What's an analogy for that? Growing in the dark. A plant grows in the sun, so what would you be? Like, I need an analogy for that. I like that. I grow in the dark.
A wildflower. I don't even know. I grow in the dark.
We'll work on that one. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, right? Because I do. There's been so many things that I've been through in my life that could have destroyed me completely. And it only made me stronger and wiser and kinder, because there's a lot of things, like I said, there has been more bad than good in certain situations, but I always was able to find the lesson learned out of certain things. And yeah, so I ended up turning it around. Like, I started working for the National Eating Disorder Association.
Wow.
And that really changed my life. And then recently, I actually got into helping local animal shelters that are actually kill shelters. And I've actually I haven't rescued them, but I saved them because they were on the list to be euthanized. Yeah. And I've actually saved 4 so far. So I'm super excited.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's something that I definitely want to keep going on with too. I think that I have learned so much about, my struggles that I've almost became like a professional on how to recover from any obstacle that may be in my way. Yeah, definitely.
So I'll throw a timestamp on here for us. We're recording this on May 14th, 2026. So a lot of year left, but in general, what's next? What's next for you, Danny? Like, what excites you right now, and what's next? What's the plans on the horizon?
Yeah, so I would say I'm definitely going to continue my activism and my advocacy. I am going to be at the West Hollywood Pride Festival. I actually am going to be hosting a table for resources in early prevention with some free giveaways. So if you are in West Hollywood area, June 6th, come on down. I would love to meet you. And also, I definitely plan on performing more. I do. That's something that's always going to be a part of me. However, I found such passion and purpose in helping people. I also am a recovery coach too. So I work with people who struggle with body image, eating disorders, addiction, pretty much anybody that has really struggled or, views life differently. Like for someone like me, like I was always perceived differently by my peers, like in school, ever since I was a child. I always viewed life so much differently than other people my age. And I think that it, like in my advocacy, like helping others, like find their light and their truth. Sorry, I forgot what I was saying. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I'm caught up in it too. Because I understand. I understand. No, I understand what you're saying. It's a lot. And I can hear the passion in your voice for what you're doing, right?
Well, because and with eating disorders, right? Like people, they have this idea that eating disorders have a look or they have an image. And it definitely isn't the case. People don't seem to think that men struggle, but men are actually on the rise more than women right now in the eating disorder community. And did you know, fun fact.
I like it, did you know? Throw it in, Danny, man. I'm surprised. I love it. Good, right? Did you know? Go ahead.
Did you know that only 6% of people that struggle with eating disorders are medically deemed underweight?
I did not know that. Wow.
Only 6%.
So there's a lot more that are suffering that would never even kind of know. Like you never know.
Oh, they have no idea. Well, and that was the problem with me too. And getting diagnosed with an eating disorder was because I was a male, they completely overlooked it. And no one could identify what was going on. And I was using these behaviors, but they were self-induced. And I didn't know because I was hiding it so well that even I didn't know. That's how, it's really interesting how eating disorders can really do a number on take a toll on your body and on your mind as well.
Yeah. Danny, this has been great having you on the show today. I learned a lot. I hope my audience did as well. How do people follow up? Like, how do they follow up? How do they connect? How do they, follow your content and keep building with you?
Yes, absolutely. So I am working on an album right now. So I'm hoping to have that out by the end of 2026. You can follow me on Instagram at It's Danny Falco. That's ITSDANNYFALCO. And also you can check out all of my music. I have recorded 3 albums. And actually 4, I apologize. 1 remix album and 3 albums. I am a songwriter, so I did write every song from the heart. And check it out on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, anywhere you listen to or stream your music. Just type in Danny Falco. I also do go by the stage name Wild Aura too. But I would love to connect with you. I love speaking with people and just, communicating with people who really understand or can relate to something that I've been through. It really gives what I do so much purpose. So if you related to something that I said today, or maybe you had some questions, feel free to reach out. I am totally that person. It might take me a day or 2 to get back to you, but I promise you I will respond because I just want to help as many people as I can because I know how isolated you can feel in certain situations, and you're never alone.
Amazing. For everybody listening, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can just click on the links and head right on over and connect with Danny. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me right. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. And also, if you are going to be in Hollywood June 7th, that's a Sunday, we want to see you over at the National Social Media Awards. Again, I will be in attendance. The nationalsocialmediaawards.com is where you can grab tickets, and that's going to be in Hollywood, California. So come out, and love to meet you as well. And Danny, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to be at the National Social Media Awards, so I hope to meet you there too.